Alright folks, this is Plisken by 51mm, and today I am doing my 4 years in overview on the M1A loaded. Now I've had the M1A loaded for 4 full years now. I got it on September 16th, 2015. And I have had it ever since, obviously, and it turned 4 years old about a week ago or so, me owning it for 4 years. Anyway, in that time, I have not had a single issue that was the fault of the rifle. The rifle has performed flawlessly for the last 4 years. The only times it's ever messed up is when I did something stupid, like rode the bolt home, or like, you know, when you let it go home and you're riding it home, or I goofed up and didn't load it correctly or something. Most of the time, if something's went wrong with it, it's because of me. And there has been a few times where it has failed to cycle around, but that was because of a magazine issue. But on its own, under its own operation and everything, the rifle has not had a single slip up or failure of its own. Most of it's been because of me and magazine issues. But that aside, it has performed flawlessly for 4 years. I have not had a single part break on it. The trigger group is all original. The bolt is all original. The op rod is all original. The gas piston and gas tubes all original. All that's all the same. Have not had any of it break or fail. And you guys have seen me, especially those of you who have been with me for a very long time, or have stayed with me for the 4 years I've been doing YouTube. You guys have seen me shoot this rifle a lot. I have run large amounts of ammo through this. I'm not sure on an exact round count, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, just to be safe, that I have probably 1,000 and some change through it rounds, because if you count factory ammo, ammo that didn't make it back with me, like spent brass and boxes of ammo boxes that got thrown away, and then reloads, ammo I've reloaded and shot through it. I've had hundreds of reloads through it. Basically been reloading for it ever since it was still just iron sights. And I've had very good results with the reloads. With the reloads, it shoots really damn good. It groups really damn tight. Of course, when I'm doing my part, it will show. The rifle will tell you if you are having a bad day, because this rifle will outshoot me any day of the week. Guarantee it. And it reflects too. It reflects, because when I'm on my game and I'm doing my part, this rifle is a nail driver. But I've had, I'd just safely say, over 1,000 rounds through it. It's operated fine. And the only part I've really switched out on it so far has just been the op rod spring guide. I switched that out for a national match Sadlac spring guide. And let me tell you guys, if you're wanting to improve the accuracy on your M1A, and it already shoots good as it is, it shoots very good out of the box. But if you want to tighten up your group consistency out of your M1A, get a national match Sadlac spring guide for it. It smooths the action up, and I noticed a big change in group size after I did that. I've only had one scope on it, been this Redfield Revolution, and it's held up on the rifle very well. It complements the rifle too, because it's just a great utility scope, and for close range and medium to long range, it complements the rifle and just makes shooting it that much easier. Of course, when you get it out of the box, the iron sights are already amazing out of it. I've had 2 cheek risers on it. The first one was an NC Star Vism, I do believe. It was a smaller one, and then I switched over to this one. Can't remember the name of this one. And I have repainted it once. I painted it and then repainted it. The coat that I've had on it now, I've had on there for, I'd say, about 2 years now. I'd say 2 years. May need to repaint it again in the near future because it is starting to rub off underneath and back here on the hand guard, like where the, you know, where you put your hand. But I think I'll just let it go until it's all almost completely gone. It's held up very well. And I've had nothing but good results out of the M1A loaded. My favorite rifle, my favorite semi-auto. I really love my AR-15 too. My AR-15 is great, but you know, that semi-auto 308 firepower out of the M1A is unrivaled. And I've had 2 slings on it as well. Had a traditional like hunting sling on it before, and now I have this Vikings tactical Vtac Sling and Coyote tan on it. And I must say that this sling here is a must for an M1A. And you can get them with a bigger strap too, like they have the padded versions that you can get. And but this one right here, just the standard Vtac Sling, it does wonders for the rifle, because when you put it on your back, it's like these, I don't know what it is, I guess it's these points here, they take out the weight significantly. I mean, yeah, it's still heavy, still a heavy rifle, but with these points here, it just, I don't know what it is, it's just like it doesn't weigh as much as it did with the previous sling. And it groups very good with basically all the ammo I have ran through it. Going back into the shooting discussion, it shoots very good, very well. It prefers the heavier stuff, but it has grouped some of the cheap M80 ball stuff very good too. Overall, for the 4 years I've had it, been a fantastic rifle. Now this isn't a review, this is an overview. I'm just basically running down like a brief summary of how the rifle has performed the past 4 years. I've had nothing but good results with it. It's ran fine, it's ran smooth, it groups good with heavier grain ammo, light grain stuff, about 3 MOAs, about what you expect out of that, and it holds the 3 MOA with the light stuff pretty good. And for you know, cheap ball ammo, that's to be expected really. And with hand loads, it groups a whole lot tighter and all that. It's ran fine, it's worked fine. It's just been a powerhouse, a reliable powerhouse, and I'm glad to be an owner of an M1A. It's an amazing rifle. It works really good. May go another year, maybe next year, or the year after next year. I will do a complete review on the M1A, where I just go down, you know, go the whole 9 yards of the rifle, and basically just talk in full detail and deep detail about everything I've done to it and how well it's performed and all that. But I'm just doing an overview now, you know, because I've owned it for 4 years, and I think it's time that I kind of, you know, just bring up some stuff about it and give some of my experience for having owned it for 4 years. It's a great rifle. It's performed very well. Been nothing but reliable. Things I plan to do to it next. Definitely going to get a better scope. Something in here popped. Well, anywho, need to get a better scope for it. That I think that would help me out a lot more, because me and my dad, we go shooting a lot more these days now, and we've worked up our loads better, and me and him just all in all have become better shooters than what we were about maybe 5 years ago, you know. And me and him were talking about it yesterday at the range, and he's just thinking, he's like, we need to start getting some more equipment to accommodate what we can do. And he's agreeing with it too, because he's just like, some of his rifles he's starting to feel like he needs higher magnification scopes for them. And I think that's what would really make this rifle shine even more, is if I get a more higher powerful scope for it. Something that goes to like 14 or maybe even 18 power. Because 12 power is good, don't get me wrong. But with a higher magnification scope, I feel like I would be able to utilize the rifle way more. You know, you know, it would help me shoot it better. And I'm going to definitely need to switch this out, because while this is an okay cheek riser, it you know, it's got its idiosyncrasies. It moves around back and forth on the buttstock way too much. I'm going to switch that out, but for what it is, it's okay. But I do need to improve my cheek rest on the rifle, and I may eventually shim the gas system. I mean, it shoots good with it the way it is now. I mean, it shoots fine the way it is now, but I think if I were to shim it, it would help it even more. And I might switch the gas piston out and get like one of those titanium ones that Sadlak makes or somebody. It looks gold in its appearance, but I'm thinking about switching the gas piston out, because I did see a video where a guy switched the gas piston out on his M1A, and it just made his rifle shoot that much better. Always seek to improve. That is one thing I have learned with rifles in general, not just the M1A. Always seek to improve their performance and their accuracy, and other things, you know, stuff that will help you shoot it better. Well, anyway, this has been Plisken by 51mm. Figured I'd do my 4-year overview of the M1A loaded. Have not had a single problem with it that wasn't a result of the rifle itself. Anything that's went wrong with it's been because of me, and it's just been a great rifle. Well, anyway, till next time, this has been Plisken by 51mm. See you all in the next video.